Hello, everyone. I'm working with a new mic tonight, so let me know if I'm coming across too loud, too low, or as if it's nice and clear. I would sure appreciate it. It's a new noise reduction one. I think that would really work well. So I'm hoping that it does really good tonight for this podcast. But I'm going to go ahead and check it through my other pad here and see. But I'm going to go ahead. There, yes, very clear. Okay, I went ahead and checked it. And hello, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday night podcast. Hello, Katie. How are you? Living life with positivity. That is our podcast for tonight. I'm trying to set up my other tablet here so that I can read your comments as we go. Very good. Yes, it's a brand new mic and it has the noise reduction in the background. So I think we'll be able to work with this mic. And also, we have the letters yet to put on the background. We did get the studio up and I want to put some more lights on. I love the lights, but I do want to get some more. And also the lettering for our positivity. Now, last week in our podcast, we talked about feeling overwhelmed, looking after yourself, and untangling the bouncing ball. So, our topics this week are going to be don't let anyone steal your joy, don't compare yourself, and don't let negative words hurt you. And we all know how those negative words can hurt. Uh, and don't be afraid to leave a comment, or if you want to discuss something, that's fine too. And let's get to it. If you would do me a favor and hit that like button as you're leaving your comments and listening, I'd sure appreciate it. Let's start out tonight with don't let negative words hurt you. And I have a couple of things here. There will always be haters in the world. Always, guys, always haters. And they will talk you down. They will say things that are intended to make you feel bad. Bad about yourself, make you feel like you don't matter. So haters have no joy of their own. This is why they lash out at others. They cannot seem to find their joy. And that is one of the things we're going to talk about tonight in this podcast. Don't let anyone steal your joy. And by insulting you and pulling you down, they're trying to steal your joy. So keep that in mind. Have you ever heard the saying, misery loves company? Boy, have I heard that many times from my mama. Misery loves company. So if someone's miserable, of course they're going to try to make you miserable. So that way they feel better because they're making someone else feel miserable. And another thing they will try to work on is your self-esteem. They will try to pull your self-esteem down. They lack it somewhere in their self to attack you. They're lacking self-esteem themselves and they have a negative mindset. If you remember in last week's podcast, we talked about keeping a positive mindset. Always, no matter what you're going through, keep that positive mindset and remember your affirmations. And we're going to talk about those affirmations tonight a little bit. Now, next week, guys, I will say real quick before we get on to don't let negative words hurt you. We will have a guest next week in our podcast, so don't miss out on that. We are going to have a guest. So let's move on. When someone has a lack of self-esteem and a negative mindset, And I mean about everything. They can't find the positive in anything. And someone who is has a negative mindset will always give you excuses. Well, that happened because blah blah blah. This happened because of blah blah blah. No, guys, that's not keeping a positive mindset. You don't want to listen to that when someone, if you can't do it, you can't do it. I'll give you an example. Uh, I broke 4 ribs. I was out for 2 to 3 weeks. That is not an excuse. It's a reality. It happened. And those who know it happened know it's not an excuse. So keep in mind between the negative excuses and the true excuses, and you will learn the difference. And I will help you in that with this podcast. All right, living life with positivity. Some of these people are so miserable, they actually wish they had your life. This is why they are attacking you and downing you. Katie's Precious Angels, Reborn Nursery. Yes, I stay as positive as I can. That's right. That's right, Katie. Especially in the things that you have going on, you want to make sure to keep that positive mindset, because it will get better, and you have so much joy in your life, and you don't want the things that happen like illness or a car wreck or anything to steal that joy either. And we will talk about that further on in the podcast. So keep in mind, if someone is attacking you and belittling you, that really means they want your life. They see something joyful in your life that they want to take. All right, let's move on. I got to turn my page here. Yes, I do make my notes for this podcast. Sometimes it is hard. And how many of you, if you can relate to this, leave a comment down below in the comments. Sometimes it's hard to say nothing. And most people have a fight back mindset. If you know what I'm talking about with the fight back mindset, which only really causes more conflict and fuels the toxic people. So keep that in mind, guys. When someone is attacking you or talking about you or coming at you publicly, say nothing. Say nothing, because you don't want to fuel those toxic people and give them more fuel for the fire to cause more conflict. And yes, all of us have the fight back mindset, but you can control that. You can control the fight back mindset by saying nothing. Ignore their comments. As long as they are not laying hands on you or attacking you physically, ignore them. That is the best medicine, because if you are ignoring them, you are really showing them they are not taking your joy. But when you come back at them with a fight back mindset, they are stealing your joy. And this is what matters the most, guys. And this is how to keep living your positive life. You know who you are. You know who you are. Other people are not going to fully know you. They only know what they perceive of you. Now, if you understand that, let me know in the comments. If you don't, I can get more in depth on that. But keep in mind, what matters most, guys, is you know who you are. And keep in mind, the others do not fully know you. They only know what they perceive of you. Katie, yes, exactly. I learned to just stay quiet. It's not worth it. I've had more than one people talk crap on here, but I don't give them what they want. Exactly, exactly. It and the best way to keep your joy, guys, the best way to hang on to your joy and live your positive life is by keeping quiet. Keeping quiet and not giving them fuel for their fire. So that's how uh, you have lived. If you're an older person, like or even young, if you're coming into your late 20s, early 30s, experienced your life, you know who you are. You're hardworking. You're a good person, and you're not gonna let anyone steal your joy. And so if you keep that positive mindset with kick kicking out the door, that fight back mindset, kick it out the door, make it go away, because it's not going to do you any good. It only is going to make matters worse. Now we are going to take some time, guys, at the beginning of every day. And I talked about this in last week's podcast. Take the morning when you first get up, before you start your day, do your 3 affirmations. Do 3 affirmations. Take that time to remind yourself that you do matter. You are unique. You're extraordinary. And you're a positive person. Now, no matter what you have had going on in your life, do your 3 affirmations in the morning. And I have a couple here that I'm going to go over with you before we move on to our next topic. I'm going to go over some things with you. Um, but what you want to do, guys, is take that morning time to tell yourself, I am a positive person, and get rid of the fight back mindset and stay quiet. And here's another thing that I wanted to talk about in tonight's podcast. Your happiness doesn't depend on someone else. No, it doesn't, guys. You know, a lot of times on YouTube or Facebook, I'll hear somebody say, I'm feeling sad, send me a gift and I'll be happy. No, they won't. They'll be happy for 2 seconds while they're opening it, and it go right back to being unhappy. I've seen it over and over and over. So keep in mind, guys, your happiness does not depend on someone else. It's you. Your happiness, your joy is actually coming from you. So if you allow others to cause you pain, or you have the fight back mindset and coming back at them and going back and forth, you are letting them steal your joy. So remember that, guys. They are not responsible. You are. So do your affirmations in the morning, and tell yourself how special you truly are. Each and every one of us are very special, and each and every one of us are unique. And how we keep our joy is how we start our day, how we interact with others. And by keeping that positive mindset, you will see, interacting with others throughout the course of a day, that you will stay positive and you will stay happy throughout the day. All right, guys. Now, do you have any questions? Yeah, yes, Katie. Yes, that's fake happiness. And fake happiness is no fun. I'll tell you that, guys. It's no fun. It just isn't, because yeah, you feel joy at that moment. You're opening the gift, you're thanking the person that sent it to you. Um, but then what happens when it's tomorrow? And you've already opened the gift, you've already either looked at what they sent you or put it on one of your Reborns or whatever it may be. You're right back where you were before you got the gift. Your mindset is right back where you were before you got the gift. So that is when you are relying on others for your joy, for your happiness. But the only person that is really responsible to make you happy is yourself. Excuse me, I'm going to take a drink here. I've had people ask me, are you truly happy all day? You say you positive. Are you really positive? Are you really happy? Well, my guest next week will tell you, yes. I refuse to let anything that comes my way rob me of my happiness and my joy. I can entertain myself. I can make myself happy. I don't let the little things bother me. And life moves on. I don't want to move on a miserable, unhappy person. I want to move on with life, carrying that joy with me, the happiness, being able to relate to others, talk to others, do my games, be able to uh, use my creativity, all in the name of being happy. Because life's too short. I don't want to leave this world knowing that I was miserable the whole time. It's being happy is a much more fun place to be than being unhappy. And that takes us right into our next topic for tonight, guys. Our next topic in this podcast is don't compare yourself to others. Don't do that, guys, because when you start doing that, you're letting the negative thoughts creep in. You have to know you are special. You are just the way God made you. And that's all that matters. Oh, you can, like, I see these ones that do podcasts. I love their podcasts, but I'm not them. I want to do my own podcast, but I'm going to do it my way. Is everyone going to like it? Probably not. Is everyone going to be interested? Probably not. But that doesn't stop me from doing it because I know that there are people I will reach and I will get a hold of, and they will enjoy my podcast. And so you can admire someone and enjoy their podcasts or their YouTube videos or Facebook videos, but don't compare yourself to them. You are you, and you are special and unique. Do it your way. Just like my podcast, I'm doing it my way. I found these little things up on the wall that you see here in the podcast. I loved them. I thought it would look awesome. I will get some more lights up and I have to put the words up, but I'm doing it my way and I'm happy with that. I'm very, very happy with that. So keep that mindset, guys. Don't compare yourself to others. I will be honest, I'm not happy all day. I have moments, but I'm working on it. However, I am way better and happier than I used to be. All right. That's great, Katie. See, you're working on it. And that, I give you kudos because there are some people, for some reason, for whatever reason, always want to be unhappy. They want to be down. They want to be miserable. And whether it is to get attention or whether it's to just feel sorry for themselves, yes, we're all, I'm not saying I never get down, guys. We all get down. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry, but then let it go. And I'll give you a little insight. When I first met my fiance, God love him, he told me one time, "You're unlike any woman I ever met." He said, you get mad, and he's like, 2 seconds later, it's like it never existed. You were mad, and now you're happy again, and you're doing things. And he said, me, I carry a grudge. And I'm like, well, hang around me for a bit longer. You won't be carrying no grudge, because life's too short to carry grudges, guys. And that's one of the things that attracted my fiance to me, is how easily that I let go of sadness and anger and fear. Um, there's no point in holding on to it. Let it go, because it's okay to get mad. It really is. But don't get mad for days and days until it consumes you, till it takes over your life. And the same with sadness. Don't be sad so long that it takes over and consumes your daily life and how you act towards others, because then in the long run, it's going to hurt. Yes, I don't understand that either, but yes, I have known others who just seem to want to be unhappy. Yes. And you will hear that. And when I hear that, now if you have a special person in your life, my fiance is mine. I can tell him everything, anything, and I know he will not betray my thoughts and my feelings, because it's okay to have those feelings. So if you have someone you can go to and vent, go ahead and vent it out. Talk to that person, vent. But once you vent, and you've talked it out with that someone close to you, a good friend, fiance, husband, whoever you're close to that you know you can vent to, who isn't going to turn it into a negative, then vent. But once you vent, you let go. You just let go. And this is something, guys, I've learned from my mother. My mother taught me, when I was young, she used to say, is that really bothering you? And she would say, okay, I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. And then after you go outside, throw your fit, tell the world what you're mad about, meaning put it in the universe. Then I want you to light it on fire, put it in the can, and let it burn. Meaning, once that paper burns up about what I'm angry about, then it's gone. It's over. No more anger. And so I took that into my adult life by not actually writing it down anymore. I don't have to write it down. I don't have to shout it to the universe. I can get angry and then let it go, just as if I burn it up and let it go. It took practice. It was something I was taught, and I practiced it until I just didn't need the actual objects to do it with. All right. Katie says, yes, I don't stay sad, mad, upset. I do what needs to be done. Exactly. Feel them emotions for long periods of time. Staying in the emotion is not good. Exactly right, Katie. When we stay in a sad state of mind or a mad state of mind, we are robbing ourselves of our own joy, and we are letting the negative mindset set in. And once that negative mindset sets in, it's really hard to let it go again. So you have to practice. If you're not used to practicing how to let it go, then do a visualization, as my mom taught me. Write it on a piece of paper. Then you can take it and light it on fire, put it in a can and let it burn. Or you can write it down, and if you live in an apartment, then you can write it down, cut it up in little bitsy pieces, representing you're letting it go. And that will help you practice for in the future on how to let those negative emotions go. And that is a lot about, goes into the same realm. Don't compare yourself to others. Wow, she can let go of anger so quick. I wish I could be like her. Whoop. What? You let that you let that negative mindset creep in again. No, I'm glad she can let go of anger. Now, listen to what I'm saying. I'm glad she has the ability to let go of her anger so quickly. I'm going to ask her how she does it, and I'm going to practice letting go of things myself. There you have it. You are not comparing yourself to that person, but you are instilling a positive mindset because now you want to learn how to let go of things so quickly, and you want to imply it into your own life. So therefore, you have allowed a positive mindset to get in there and take control. Do you understand the difference? That's a big difference from comparing and actually taking action and admiration. It's all right to admire someone, but you don't want to compare yourself, guys. It will lead you down a very, very negative mindset path. Now, when you're on social media, we know people that we associate with social media, Facebook, Twitter, um, uh, what's the other one? YouTube, and many more. There's so many platforms out there. Um, what you need to tell yourself to keep your positive mindset, is it helping you? If it is, what are the positive aspects of that social media helping you? Are you wasting your time? You never want to compare yourself to anyone on social media that you are following or that is following you. You can admire them, but do not compare yourself. All right, guys, I'm going to take a drink. Any questions? Thank you, Katie, for the wonderful input in tonight's podcast. And I hope I am getting through and can help others keep their positive mindset. But I am thinking, if Wednesday night is not a good night, um, I chose Wednesday because it was the middle of the week and we normally have games on Tuesdays and I have games on Thursday. So I picked Wednesday. But if that is not a good night, it's not too late to change our podcast to a different night, guys. So let me know in the comments below if you missed the podcast tonight, and you feel Wednesday night is not a good night for you. Please let me know in the comments and I'll see what other day is available. Now, I'm going to take a drink and then I'm going to give you self-compassion quotes. And I will let you know who wrote these quotes. Let me take a quick drink. Night is always better for me, but it seems not many are here. But I don't matter what day of the week for me. Yeah, see, well, I would like to see more in a night's podcast because it is my time at nighttime, and really that is the only time I really get to spend with my fiance. But I have the games during the day, so I want to keep the podcast at night. Um, if people watch it after the live, that's okay too. That's okay too. But I really would like uh, to have people join the podcast, talk to me, talk to others, and really learn what living a positive life truly is. Because I know this podcast is really going to benefit so many people. All right, let's go over them quotes, guys, I was telling you about. These are self compassion quotes. And I will also tell you who wrote the quotes. The degree to which you love yourself will determine your ability to love another person, who will be reflecting back to you many of your personality traits and qualities. How awesome is that, guys? Written by Sanaya Roman. How I just love this quote. So awesome. The degree to which you love yourself will determine your ability to love another person, who will be reflecting back to you many of your own personality traits and qualities. How deep is that, guys? Wonderful. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Yes, and true in my opinion. Thank you, Katie. Yes, being yourself, be who you are. I, to be honest with you, I've had people tell me that they don't like my games. Did that stop me from making my own games and moving forward? No, it didn't, because that's my joy. And if I would change how I'm doing things and what I want to do, I don't have my mother's influence anymore. This is my own without my mom, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. And the only thing I could say to this person who said they don't like my games is don't play. You don't have to play. You can watch or you can join in the other things, but if you don't like the games, you don't have to play. But I'm going to continue because it's what I enjoy. So that's not letting that person steal my joy or steal and put a negative mindset into my own mind. Yes, that makes nights is I got lost here, Katie. Hold on. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, it does. Yes, and true in my opinion. I love that one too. Yes, the second one, be yourself. Yes, exactly. Not everyone will like what we do. That's true. And there are going to be people that will even talk about what you do or bring it down or talk about it in a negative manner. But you can't let it rob your joy. Because if you tried to please everyone, come here, princess. Hold on, guys. I have a cat invading my studio. Come here, princess. Come here. Come here. You stay out of there. I thought I had the door closed and she invaded my studio. All right, let's move on. The privilege. Now, listen to this affirmation, guys. Beautiful quote here. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. How awesome is that? That's a privilege, guys. God made you just the way you are. He made you special. So the privilege is really yours. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. Joseph Campbell. How awesome is that quote, guys? And you can write some of these down and use them in the morning for your 3 affirmations to help you start. Yes, amen. Thank you, Katie. That's right. That is right. Okay, let's move on. I'll do a couple more before we move on to our last topic of the evening. Our task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Oh my gosh, that's deep, guys. And that is by Rumi. Our task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And that is really talking about the negativity, all those barriers that you have built. Let them go, break them down, because uh, it's not to just seek love of other people, It's to find those barriers and break them down because you don't want them in your positive mindset. Feeling compassion for ourselves in no way releases us from the responsibility for our actions. Rather, it releases us from the self-hatred that prevents us from responding to our life with clarity and balance. How awesome is that, guys? Tara Brock. Listen to what she said. Feeling compassion for ourselves in no way releases us from responsibility for our actions. Rather, it releases us from the self-hatred that prevents us from responding to our life with clarity and balance. So when something is gone wrong, take responsibility for that. Take responsibility for your own actions. Don't blame your actions on someone else. There again creeps in that negative mindset. Yes, amen. Exactly. Thank you, Katie. That's right. And that is so well written quote. I love that for one of my affirmations. I really do. It's beautiful. Owning. Now, this one is good. Guys, listen to this. Positive thinking is where I got this from. Owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it. Embracing our vulnerabilities is risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on ourselves, love, and belonging and joy. The experiences that make us the most vulnerable. Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness, we will discover the infinite power of our light. How awesome is that, guys? If you want a copy of that affirmation quote, let me know and I will gladly give it to you. How awesome is that? The privilege of a lifetime, being who you are. Exactly. Being who you are. And I'll tell you guys, the art of being yourself at your best, unfolding yourself into the personality you want to be. Only you can be you. No one else can be you. So while you're being you, unfold yourself to the personality you want to be. How awesome is that? That is just, whew, that really touches home because have you ever had someone say you have to love yourself before you can love others? So if you have a negative mindset and you're telling yourself you're just not good enough, you just can't do it, um, you're mad at the world, um, you have no room for love of whether it's a boyfriend, husband, friend. You know, if you love yourself, you will be able to love your partner, love a friend, and have true empathy because the positive love for yourself is there, the positive mindset. So you will feel the difference. If you find yourself not having empathy or true feelings for another person, then that's when you come back to, and let's go back to that quote. Let's go back to that quote. And I believe it was in the beginning. Let me get it here, because that follows us right back to that quote that I had mentioned in the beginning, guys. I just put my papers on the table. Here we go. Our task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers yourself that you have built against it. So, if you find yourself not having empathy or true feelings for your partner, friends, family, then it's within yourself. Tear those barriers down and bring in a positive mindset. I agree, you have to love yourself before you can truly love. That's exactly right. And that isn't just a boyfriend or a husband. It goes to friendships. It goes to other people. Um, a perfect stranger. Somebody tells you, let's say you're doing a live, and somebody on the live tells you that they are feeling sad because they have a surgery coming up and they're scared. If you can't feel empathy at that moment or feel for that stranger, then it's a barrier of negativity you have built within yourself. Yes, that's everyone. That's right, Katie. That's everyone. Okay, here's another one by Eleanor Roosevelt. I love this one. Friendship with oneself is all important because without it, one cannot be friends with anyone else in the world. That goes right back to the love, doesn't it? Friendship with oneself is all important because without it, one cannot be friends with anyone else in the world. If you cannot have the ability to love yourself, forgive yourself, praise yourself, how can you do that for anyone else in the world? It would be hard to build a friendship. How awesome is that? I just love that one by Eleanor Roosevelt. Now, here's another one. This is our last one, guys. Kristen Neff. Painful feelings are, by their very nature, temporary. Hear that word? Temporary. They will weaken over time as long as we don't prolong or amplify them through resistance and avoidance. How awesome is that, guys? The only way to eventually free ourselves from debilitating pain, therefore, is to be with it as it is. The only way out is through. How awesome is that? Kristen Neff. Painful feelings are by their very nature temporary. I love how she puts that because that is so true. When you get mad, it should be temporary. When you get sad, temporary. Be sad and get over it. Be angry, get over it. This is exactly what she's talking about here. They will weaken over time as long as we don't prolong or amplify them. And we just talked about that earlier, that if you carry a grudge or keep it inside, you are, hello, Tiffany Taylor in the house. Hello. So by holding it inside, you are amplifying it, prolonging it, and therefore making it worse. So it's neat how all these coincide with each other. And that is by Kirsten Neff. All right, let's move along, guys, on our third topic for tonight. And that, let me get my paper here. I mixed them up with the other one. Hold on just 1 second. And negative words. I have something here that I'm going to help you guys with. And many of you saw my Facebook. I'm sure you've saw it. If you haven't, go over to Facebook and check it out. I have stress balls, many different kinds of stress balls that I actually squeeze and play with. Excellent stress reliever, guys. And so I have some ideas on a self-care kit. Make yourself a self-care kit. And I can give you the ideas, but you have to want to do them. And so let's go over here. Uh, and I'm sure some of you are saying, huh? What? What's a self-care kit? Well, it's a basket, box, bag, however you want to make it, filled with the things that make you feel good, that make you feel safe, and help soothe your anxiety and stress. Self care, very important. Exactly, Tiffany. Exactly. So, this kit is going to have in it the things that are important to you, what's going to help your anxiety. And so, you want to put that together. Um, it really can be helpful. Um, let's say you got angry at someone and you find yourself just a wee bit, oh, I just can't let go. I'm really mad. Okay, let me go to my self care kit. I want to go and help myself to help let go of the anger. And so you definitely want the things that bring you joy in your kit. And so you start out, and I can give you some ideas here, guys, on how to put your kit together. And let's start out with the stress balls. You can buy some of those and put them in your kit, which I have several different ones that I use. And you can also music. Uh, like I said in our first podcast, um, you don't want to get the music that feeds the negativity. When I tell you to put music in your self care kit, it's uplifting music, guys, not music that's going to make you sit there and cry or be angrier or sadder. You want music that's going to uplift your spirit, your soul, and bring you happiness and joy. So keep in mind, if you want music in your self care kit, definitely upbeat, happy music. Katie, I have a bag of stress balls, squishies, and fidgets. Yes, I have a couple of fidgets. Tiffany, oh wow, never thought of a kit like that. Yes, it would really help. Yes, Tiffany, that would help. Um, if a bath helps you, let's say you want to make you love taking a bath, it helps you relax, it clears your mind, then you want to put bath products in your self-care kit, lavender, oils, any essential oil that will make you feel good, and put it in your bath. So you definitely want to have those special bath products in your self-care kit. Keep them on hand so that you will have them. Candles. Some people like candles. Some people like the essential oil aroma. So you want to make sure that if you're into candles, keep a couple of special candles, and put a color to them. Get a pink candle and make it for love. And then you want to maybe get a white one for prayer, and then a blue one for happiness. And so when you light these, you put them in order: prayer, happiness, anything to help you in your self-care kit. And when you light those candles, you're going to reaffirm by lighting those candles that you are happy, you are calm, you will let go. So keep that in mind when you're making your candles in your kit. I do love a bath until the tiny terrorists, the tiny terrorists find me. Oh, don't call my grandbabies terrorists, my poor little girls. And here's another uh, suggestion for your self care kit: a book. It's okay to be creative and fantasize. Get a good book that takes you out of this world for a little while, a fantasy, create your own story. That will also reaffirm the happy thoughts, the positive mindset. Katie's Precious Angels, I love candles. I have them lit all around me when I reborn. Oh, awesome. That is really good. The candles can reaffirm, calmness and light and love. Also, and I know I mentioned this in our first podcast, journaling. Get a couple of journal books, guys. And what you're going to do is have a day reflect journal and a night reflect journal. So you can write in the day journal, reflect on the day's events in the day journal, and reflect on the night's events in the night journal. And the importance of this is to go back and read, because if you will find in your journals, you will find where you're faltering or how you're growing. So keep that in mind when you're journaling, guys. Get yourself a day journal and a night journal. And these are going to be your reflection journals. And I journal all the time, guys. I keep a journal right by my bed. So that's the several things that you can put in your self-care kit, guys. That's very, and if you want more, I will be glad to send you a list on things that you can put in your self-care kit by email. Just email me at tzgames@gmail.com, and I would love to send you a list of things for. There you go. In my back, guys. In my back. Can you hear me, Katie? Yep, my little mic went out. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Can you hear me now, guys? Let me know. Oh, yes, I'm back. Okay, my little mic went out, but that's okay. Uh, I can talk now. It just doesn't take the sounds away now. So it's not, but we are at the end. How awesome is it? Maybe I should have charged it before I used it. That's what they tell you. Oh, well. Thank you guys for enjoying the podcast with me. Until next week's podcast, I'll see you tomorrow for Truth or Challenge, 2:30 p.m. Be there if you have played. Until then, guys, you have a good evening, and I will see you in another podcast.